Is your energy under attack? Brace yourself, because this snow moon isn't just a pretty face in the night sky. It's a potent force that can either amplify your spiritual power or expose hidden vulnerabilities you didn't even know you had. Are you feeling inexplicably drained, emotionally raw, or strangely disconnected? What if the beautiful snow moon is silently chipping away at your energetic defenses, leaving you open to unseen forces? Is the snow moon just a celestial event, or could it be revealing the hidden shadows within your energy field? This year, the snow moon is acting like a cosmic spotlight, illuminating 8 distinct anti-spiritual traps that could sabotage your well-being. These aren't external demons or mystical curses. These traps are insidious internal patterns, limiting beliefs and unresolved wounds that the snow moon's intense energy drags to the surface, ready to be healed or to wreak havoc. Have you ever heard of spiritual bypassing? What about overthinking your spiritual path into oblivion, or perhaps self-doubt has become your constant companion? Understanding and dodging these traps is paramount to navigating the snow moon's turbulent energies, because if you don't, you risk being swept away by a spiritual undertow, leaving you feeling lost, confused, and further than ever from your true self. But how do you know if you're falling into these traps? The universe doesn't leave us completely in the dark. The snow moon's influence manifests in predictable patterns. Are you experiencing unusual fatigue, a racing mind filled with anxieties, or perhaps a hair-trigger irritability you just can't shake? Maybe your dreams have become bizarrely vivid, or you're haunted by a pervasive sense of disconnection. These aren't random, meaningless symptoms. They are signals from your energy field, whispers alerting you to your vulnerability. These signals will become much clearer as we go on. This snow moon, blazing in the sign of Leo, brings with it a unique blend of fiery self-expression and dramatic flair. Leo's energy amplifies our creativity and courage, but it also inflames our egos and insecurities. This means that the traps associated with pride, self-centeredness, and the need for validation will be particularly potent during this time. This snow moon offers you the opportunity to reflect, release, and renew your spiritual commitments. While this snow moon may amplify challenges, it also presents equally potent possibilities for growth. Your spiritual and energetic well-being is the foundation upon which everything else is built. It affects your physical health, your emotional stability, your closest relationships, and your overall sense of purpose in this world. Neglecting it is like ignoring a leaky foundation in your home. Sooner or later, everything will start to crumble. The intense cosmic energy of the snow moon can accelerate this crumbling, but it can also catalyze incredible healing and growth if you prioritize your energetic health. Think of this as a cosmic tune-up, an opportunity to optimize your spiritual engine and unleash your full potential. The choices you make during this period will have a ripple effect, extending far beyond your personal life. By healing and aligning your own energy, you contribute to a more harmonious collective consciousness, lifting the vibration of the entire planet. The snow moon marks a time of collective spiritual awakening, where countless individuals are grappling with similar challenges and seeking deeper meaning. You are not alone in this journey. You're a vital part of a global shift. Knowledge is power. Understanding these anti-spiritual traps is like equipping yourself with a shield and a sword. It allows you to take control of your energetic experiences, proactively defend against negative influences, and harness the snow moon's transformative power for good. Awareness is the first and most crucial step toward lasting change. Resilience is key. Spiritual alignment is the destination. Can you bounce back from challenges and maintain your spiritual center even when the cosmic weather is stormy? The snow moon is a test of your inner strength, an opportunity to deepen your connection to the divine and cultivate unwavering faith in yourself. Navigating these anti-spiritual traps will make you stronger, wiser, and more deeply connected to your authentic self. Your energy field, often referred to as your aura, is a dynamic and invisible force field that surrounds your body. It constantly interacts with the environment, absorbing and emitting energy. Think of your aura like a garden. When tended carefully, It blooms with vibrant colors and protects you from harm. But when neglected, it becomes overgrown with weeds, negative emotions, limiting beliefs, and psychic debris. These weeds weaken your energy field, creating blockages that manifest as physical ailments, emotional imbalances, and spiritual stagnation. Let's pull back the curtain and get to know these anti-spiritual traps. Consider the trap of spiritual bypassing. This is the insidious tendency to use spiritual concepts like forgiveness, oneness, or positive thinking to avoid dealing with painful emotions or unresolved traumas. Then there's the trap of overthinking, where you get caught in endless mental loops, analyzing every spiritual experience to death and losing touch with your intuition. Finally, beware the trap of self-doubt, that nagging inner voice that whispers you're not good enough, undermining your spiritual growth and potential. Each of these anti-spiritual traps is linked to specific energetic blockages within your body and energy field. For example, the trap of overthinking can create congestion in your third eye chakra, hindering your intuition and clouding your clarity. These blockages can manifest as headaches, eye strain, or a general sense of mental fog. But what triggers these traps in the first place? Each trap has specific triggers, situations, thoughts, or emotions that make you more vulnerable. Stress, lack of sleep, exposure to negative environments, or even certain types of people can trigger the trap of self-doubt, sending you spiraling into a vortex of negative self-talk. Start paying attention to your triggers. What situations or thoughts tend to send you down a negative spiral? Are you truly as safe as you think you are? Have you ever felt like you're going through the motions spiritually, reciting affirmations and attending workshops, but not really feeling connected to anything deeper? Do you find yourself constantly analyzing your spiritual experiences, dissecting every symbol and synchronicity, instead of simply surrendering to the mystery? Do you ever doubt your intuition or feel like you're not qualified to pursue your spiritual path? Honesty is paramount. Acknowledging your vulnerabilities isn't a sign of weakness. It's a testament to your courage and a crucial step on your healing journey. Falling into these anti-spiritual traps can have devastating long-term consequences. Spiritual burnout is a very real danger. What if you experience a loss of connection to the divine and a diminished sense of purpose? You may find yourself adrift in a sea of existential angst, wondering what it's all for. Untapped potential, missed opportunities, and a lingering sense of dissatisfaction will become your constant companions. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. Practices like grounding, meditation, and affirmations can help mitigate the effects of the snow moon and dismantle these traps. You have the power to take control of your energetic experiences. In this video, we'll reveal the specific strategies you need to identify and avoid each of the 8 anti-spiritual traps triggered by this potent snow moon. You'll discover practical techniques to clear energetic blockages, strengthen your aura, and reclaim your spiritual power. Up next, we dive deep into the first trap, the trap of spiritual bypassing, uncovering its insidious nature and providing you with the tools to break free. Stay tuned, your spiritual well-being depends on it. Have you ever caught yourself plastering a smile on your face when your heart is breaking, telling everyone you're fine when you're anything but? Or maybe you found yourself lost in a labyrinth of thoughts, endlessly analyzing every little thing, trying to find a spiritual solution to a very human problem. The snow moon is about to crank up the volume on these tendencies, making it even harder to discern what's real and what's a carefully constructed illusion. Are you ready to handle who or what might be watching you? Let's pull back the curtain on these first 2 traps, starting with spiritual bypassing. Imagine a friend loses their job. Instead of allowing themselves to grieve, to feel the anger and fear that naturally arise, they immediately jump to affirmations, chanting, "Everything happens for a reason," without truly processing the loss. They are creating a false sense of well-being. This isn't authentic spirituality. It's avoidance disguised in a spiritual cloak. Spiritual bypassing is using spiritual concepts and practices to evade dealing with painful emotions, unresolved traumas, and those shadowy aspects of ourselves we'd rather ignore. It's like putting a bandage on a festering wound. It might cover it up for a while, but it won't heal the infection. This trap manifests in many ways. Suppressing anger with forced forgiveness, denying sadness with relentless positivity, or intellectualizing feelings with complex spiritual theories. The root is unprocessed emotion that needs to be validated and processed. When you're caught in this trap, you might experience emotional numbness, a superficial sense of peace that feels hollow, and a deep disconnect from your authentic feelings. You might feel detached from your own body, struggle to cry even when you're hurting, or experience a persistent sense of emptiness that no amount of spiritual practice seems to fill. These are signs your energy is blocked, dammed up by unacknowledged emotions. What triggers this avoidance? Stressful situations, the fear of vulnerability, and even the desire to appear spiritual to others can all activate spiritual bypassing. You might find yourself reaching for a spiritual platitude instead of allowing yourself to truly feel the discomfort of a difficult emotion. It becomes a subconscious habit, a way to protect yourself from perceived pain. But the more you avoid, the stronger the trap becomes, and the further you drift from genuine healing. So how do you break free? Emotional honesty and self-compassion are your greatest allies. Allow yourself to feel those difficult emotions without judgment. Practice self-compassion, treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a dear friend. Seek support from a therapist or counselor if you're struggling to process past traumas. And most importantly, embrace your shadow aspects, those parts of yourself you've been taught to reject. Integrating them is key to wholeness. Now, let's step into the mental maze of our second trap, overthinking. This is where you get caught in endless mental loops, analyzing every detail and losing touch with your intuition and inner wisdom. It's the flip side of spiritual bypassing, being overly mental instead of overly emotional. You're thinking your way to enlightenment instead of feeling it. Overthinking is persistent mental analysis, excessive planning, and intellectualizing spiritual experiences. It's when you're more focused on understanding the mechanics of spirituality than experiencing its essence. This trap can manifest as crippling anxiety, chronic indecisiveness, and a profound disconnect from the present moment. You're so busy thinking about the path that you forget to walk it. The energetic and emotional symptoms of overthinking include mental fatigue, persistent headaches, difficulty sleeping due to a racing mind, and a frustrating feeling of being stuck in your head. You might find yourself unable to quiet your mind, plagued by constant self-doubt, and paralyzed by the inability to make even the simplest decisions. Your energy is scattered, diffused by endless mental chatter. What pulls you into this mental quicksand? Stress, perfectionism, and the fear of making mistakes are common culprits. The root cause is often a desperate desire to be in control, to understand everything before taking action. But the spiritual path is not a problem to be solved. It's a mystery to be embraced. The solution. Mindfulness and intuition. Practice mindfulness meditation to quiet the mental noise and cultivate present moment awareness. Trust your intuition, that inner voice that speaks beyond logic and reason. Surrender to the flow of life, releasing the need to control every outcome. Ground yourself in the present moment, connecting with your body through movement, breath, and sensory awareness. Remember, your mind is a powerful tool, but it's not the master of your spiritual journey. Your heart is. Have you noticed how these traps are already starting to intertwine? Spiritual bypassing can easily lead to overthinking as you attempt to intellectualize your way out of feeling painful emotions. The snow moon will only intensify this interplay, creating a complex web of challenges. Now that you're aware of spiritual bypassing and overthinking, take a moment to reflect. Which of these traps resonates most strongly with you? What specific situations or thoughts trigger these patterns in your life? Recognizing these tendencies is the first step toward reclaiming your power. Remember the symptoms and remember the solutions, but the stakes are about to get higher. Because lurking beneath these surface-level traps are deeper, more insidious patterns that can truly derail your spiritual progress. Get ready because we're now going to shine a light on self-doubt and impatience. These traps can undermine your spiritual growth and erode your sense of self-worth. Can you sense the shift, like tectonic plates grinding beneath the surface? Self-doubt is that nagging inner critic that whispers you're not good enough, not worthy, not capable of pursuing your spiritual path. It's the insidious voice that tells you your intuition is wrong, your experiences are invalid, and your efforts are futile. The long-term consequences of succumbing to self-doubt are stagnation, missed opportunities, and a lingering sense of unfulfilled potential. One common defense mechanism against self-doubt is seeking external validation through spiritual achievements or recognition. You might become obsessed with acquiring certifications, accumulating followers on social media, or seeking praise from spiritual teachers. But this external validation will never truly satisfy the hunger of self-doubt, because the validation has to come from within. In fact, relying on external validation often amplifies self-doubt, as you become dependent on the opinions of others to feel worthy. The energetic symptoms of self-doubt include low energy, mental blocks, and a pervasive sense of heaviness. The emotional symptoms manifest as feeling inadequate, unworthy of love and success, and constantly comparing yourself to others. The root cause of self-doubt often lies in old core wounds, such as not feeling accepted or good enough in childhood. These wounds create a deep-seated belief that you are inherently flawed, making you vulnerable to the trap of self-doubt. So, how do you overcome this debilitating trap? The first step is to acknowledge your self-doubt without judgment. Recognize that everyone experiences moments of self-doubt, and it doesn't diminish your worth as a spiritual being. Practice self-compassion, treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a friend who is struggling. Challenge your negative self-talk, replacing it with affirmations of your worth and potential. Focus on your strengths and accomplishments, celebrating your progress no matter how small. And most importantly, cultivate a deep sense of self-acceptance, embracing your imperfections as part of your unique journey. Now, let's turn our attention to the trap of impatience. This is the insatiable desire for instant gratification, the belief that you should be further along on your spiritual path than you are. It's the frustration that arises when your manifestations don't materialize immediately, when your healing takes longer than expected, or when your spiritual growth feels slow and arduous. The long-term consequences of impatience include getting scammed by false teachers, experiencing chronic frustration, and becoming discouraged from pursuing your spiritual goals. One common defense mechanism against impatience is rushing and speeding through everything, trying to fast-track your spiritual progress. You might jump from one workshop to another, consume endless amounts of spiritual content, or attempt to force your manifestations into reality. But this frantic energy only creates more stress and prevents you from fully enjoying the present moment. The energetic symptoms of impatience include scattered energy, restlessness, and a constant feeling of being rushed. The emotional symptoms manifest as irritability, frustration, and a tendency to get into conflicts with others. The root cause of impatience often lies in old core wounds related to a lack of nurturing or impatience being modeled by caregivers in childhood. These experiences create a deep-seated belief that your needs won't be met unless you force them to be, making you vulnerable to the trap of impatience. So, how do you cultivate patience on your spiritual path? The key is to embrace the journey, not just the destination. Practice mindfulness, focusing on the present moment, and appreciating the small blessings in your life. Cultivate gratitude, acknowledging all that you already have rather than fixating on what you lack. Trust the timing of the universe, knowing that everything unfolds in its own perfect time. And most importantly, remember that spiritual growth is a lifelong process, not a race to be won. Can you feel how these traps are interconnected, like a tangled web designed to ensnare you? Falling into one trap can make you more vulnerable to others, creating a downward spiral that can be difficult to escape. Someone who is spiritually bypassing may start overthinking to try to prove that their feelings are valid, which then leads to self-doubt as they struggle to find definitive answers. This self-doubt can then fuel impatience, as they desperately seek a quick fix to alleviate their discomfort. This vicious cycle can leave you feeling lost, confused, and further than ever from your true self. Are you willing to break the cycle? The key to breaking free from these traps is to understand that the solutions are not just about avoiding negative thoughts and emotions. They're about transforming the underlying patterns and beliefs that create these traps in the first place. This is deep inner work that takes time, dedication, and a willingness to confront your shadows. This is no quick fix, no overnight transformation. This snow moon is calling you to delve deeper, to explore the hidden corners of your psyche and unearth the root causes of your suffering. Are you ready to answer that call? Up next, we'll introduce more advanced techniques for transforming these patterns, including shadow work and inner child healing. Prepare to confront your deepest fears and reclaim your authentic power. That snow moon isn't here to punish you, it's here to reveal the hidden battlegrounds within. Those anti-spiritual traps we've discussed aren't external demons, they're reflections of your own inner landscape, the unhealed wounds and limiting beliefs that have been silently shaping your reality. Spiritual bypassing, for instance, isn't just a superficial practice. It's often a mask for a deep-seated fear of confronting the raw, messy truth of your emotions. It's an attempt to leapfrog over the necessary steps of grieving, processing, and integrating difficult experiences, leaving you stuck in a perpetual state of emotional avoidance. Remember those energetic symptoms we talked about: the headaches, the anxiety, the fatigue, the scattered focus? These aren't random occurrences. They're signals, your body's way of alerting you that you're veering into one of these traps. Are you experiencing chronic fatigue? That could be the trap of self-doubt draining your vital life force. Are you constantly irritable and snapping at loved ones? Impatience might be clouding your perception and poisoning your relationships. Here's a summary to keep in mind. Spiritual bypassing manifests as emotional numbness, overthinking as mental fatigue, self-doubt as low energy, impatience as irritability. Each symptom is a cosmic breadcrumb leading you back to the source of the imbalance. The snow moon itself isn't the enemy, it's merely an amplifier highlighting what's already there. Think of it like a magnifying glass held up to a dusty surface. It doesn't create the dust, it simply reveals the imperfections that were always present but easily overlooked. This moon illuminates your energetic blind spots, exposing the patterns that need to be addressed in order to move forward on your spiritual path. True spiritual strength isn't about erecting impenetrable walls around yourself. It's about embracing vulnerability, allowing yourself to feel, to be seen, and to be known, flaws and all. It's about recognizing that your wounds are not weaknesses, but rather portals to deeper understanding and compassion. Practices like radical acceptance, acknowledging and accepting your current reality without judgment, and authentic relating, expressing your true self in your relationships, are crucial for cultivating this kind of resilient vulnerability. But you're not alone in this journey. Countless others are grappling with similar challenges under the intense light of this snow moon. What is separating humanity right now? The illusion that what you're going through is unique. This is a collective awakening, a shared opportunity to heal and evolve together. Share your experiences in the comments below. Let's build a supportive community where we can learn from each other and navigate these turbulent energies with grace and compassion. Remember these recurring patterns, the same old arguments in your relationships, the same self-sabotaging behaviors aren't signs of failure. They're opportunities for growth, chances to finally break free from the cycles that have been holding you back. Approach these patterns with curiosity and compassion, asking yourself, what is this trying to teach me? Instead of judging yourself for falling into the same old traps, the choices you make in response to these energetic challenges will have profound and lasting consequences for your spiritual well-being. Will you succumb to the traps, allowing them to dictate your reality? Or will you rise to the occasion, using this as an opportunity to heal, grow, and step into your full potential? Proactively addressing these anti-spiritual traps, cultivating emotional honesty, practicing mindfulness, challenging self-doubt, and embracing patience can lead to greater resilience, deeper joy, and a more fulfilling spiritual life. This isn't about fearing the snow moon. It's about shifting from a place of vulnerability and anxiety to a place of empowerment and agency. You have the tools, you have the resources, and you have the inner strength to navigate these energetic challenges and emerge stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your true self. It's there, your strength. So let's quickly recap those 8 anti-spiritual traps and their solutions so you can keep them in mind moving forward. 1. Spiritual bypassing, face your pain. 2. Overthinking. Trust your intuition. 3. Self-doubt, practice self-compassion. 4. Impatience, embrace the present moment. And we'll discuss the final 4 in our next video. How can you recognize and avoid these traps in your daily life, in the moment? Imagine you're in a conversation with a friend and they share some difficult news. Your first impulse might be to offer a spiritual platitude to try to fix their pain with positive affirmations, but that's spiritual bypassing. Instead, take a breath, listen with empathy, and simply offer your support without judgment. Or perhaps you find yourself endlessly scrolling through social media, comparing yourself to others and feeling inadequate. That's self-doubt creeping in. In that moment, pause, close your eyes, and affirm your own unique worth and beauty. Every action is a choice. Choose wisely. Now, you might still have some lingering doubts or concerns about all of this. You might be wondering, is this really true? Am I just imagining things? Can I really change these deeply ingrained patterns? It's natural to feel skeptical, but I encourage you to trust your own experience. If something resonates with you, explore it further. Spiritual growth is a process, not a destination. There will be ups and downs, moments of clarity and moments of confusion. Be patient with yourself, and remember that every step you take, no matter how small, is a step in the right direction. Remember this. You possess an inherent inner strength, a resilience that cannot be broken. Trust your intuition, that inner compass that guides you towards your highest good. You are capable of navigating these energetic challenges and emerging stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your true self. Believe it, because it is true. But the journey of self-discovery is ongoing, and there are always deeper layers of shadow work to explore. What happens after facing all this head-on? The good news, you come out stronger. The less good news, what you thought was the end, was only the beginning. In our future videos, we'll delve into more advanced spiritual practices and techniques for healing trauma, integrating shadow aspects, and unlocking your full potential. And remember, addressing these anti-spiritual traps can have a positive ripple effect on your relationships and community. When you heal yourself, you heal the world around you. Share your insights with others, create a supportive network of like-minded individuals, and together, let's create a more compassionate and conscious world. So, I invite you to share your experiences, ask questions, and connect with each other in the comments section below. Subscribe to the channel for more insightful content and updates on future events. In our next video, we'll be focusing on the final 4 of these spiritual traps, so get ready. It's about to get intense, and you won't want to